Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. I know that we are still here doing our learning in this way, so I hope everybody is doing well and managing that just fine. Wanted to come back yet again, bring you another quick lesson. I know last time we did the girl with the umbrella, and she was kind of involved. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot to that one. So I decided today I was going to give you a little bit more of the color and the ideas of working with the colors this time around. But I'm not going to do it where there's a ton, just to give you a chance to kind of catch your breath from the last one. And I'll show you what I mean by this in just a minute. Well, let's get started, right? I know last time I went a little bit longer, so I was trying to also do this one in such a way that we could maybe make it a little bit shorter in length for you. Okay, so once again, we are going to begin with a blank piece of paper, and we are going to use it the long way, okay? And you are going to need your pencil with your eraser. And what we're going to do today is actually kind of going to be based on obviously what we've done so far and a little bit more of what we talked about on Friday. So again, on Friday, I'm going to flip back to my drawing, at least I hope I'm going to. And we left this portion until last, right? So let's just talk very briefly about this once again. So you've kind of gotten the idea, right, that this is an umbrella, but remember how we colored it in a very specific way. This is actually can also be called a color wheel because of how the colors are designed and laid out, right? So very, very quickly, I'm going to use a pencil just to kind of point out what's going on here. Again, just as a quick review, and then we're going to jump into today's. Not only did we create our little girl playing in the rain, playing in the puddle, and we put her in kind of the setting or the surroundings that she might be in, right? So we added the clouds and the raindrops, right? And she has a little friend over here. But let's talk specifically about this. I did say Friday that I wanted you to color it in a certain way. So if you did that, great job. I mean, you guys have all been really doing a really good job up till this point in all of this. And I keep saying it, but I'll say it again, how proud I am of you. For, doing your work and making good choices and staying healthy. That's what makes me the happiest, is to know that all of you are safe and healthy and happy. And, my doing this with you, it brings me a lot of happiness, a lot of joy to be able to do this with you and for you. So I just wanted you to know that, okay? So tonight as we move forward, we're still going to incorporate some things in our new or our latest kind of creative task, if you will, our little project that we're going to do today. But let's talk very quickly about this, because what we did here, we're going to create something new, but we're still going to incorporate this idea, right? This color wheel or the different colors. All right. So we said we had 6 colors, right? We had a set of 3 colors that are called primary colors. And I know that you really don't need to know those, and maybe you already do know those, but those are the 3 colors that you find anywhere that just are, right? You can't create those colors. They just are what they are. And those 3 colors, like I said, we had red, we have blue, and we have yellow. Okay, so those are the 3 primary colors, or the colors that you start with, or the colors that lead to other colors in some way, shape, or form. Those are the 3 colors that you start with. What we then talked a little bit about was taking those colors, those primary colors, and what we've done then is we've taken 2 of the 3 primary colors. And so if you take 2 of the primaries, like red and blue, and you combine them together, you get purple, right? So beyond that, if you take blue and yellow, you're going to get green. And if you combine yellow and red, you're going to get orange. Those other 3 colors, the orange, the green, and the purple, those are called secondary colors because you're taking two primary colors and you're blending them to get a second color, right? A different color that comes out of those two. So they come second, if you will. So this is some way that if you are ever in a situation where you might want to color something, and you only have like a red and a blue crayon or something, you can actually use those two together and you'll create a purple. Okay, so that's kind of my reasons for going into a little bit of detail, a little bit of depth about this. Okay, so moving forward for today, and I think again on Friday when I come back again, we're going to create a drawing. Today though, I wanted to do a little bit lighter, a little bit easier. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of challenge of your own, okay? And normally I would take what I'm drawing and create the setting, right? Or the surroundings, the environment, the habitat, whatever you would like to call it, right? So I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm not going to put it in an environment, right? I'm going to kind of leave it a little bit open-ended. Maybe you can decide where you would like your picture or your art piece to take place, okay? So this is just going to be really involving a pencil, an eraser, a piece of white paper. But at this point, what I'd like for you to do, and you can hit pause if you need to, you're going to need those 6 colors once again, these 6 colors. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put them on, just to put them on a white piece of paper just to show you, okay? Or maybe not. All right, so what you're going to need is the red. I'm trying to do it under the light so you can see. Okay, so you're going to use the red, right? That's one of our primaries. You're going to use the yellow, which is also one of the primaries. And you are going to use the blue, also one of the primary colors, okay? You're also going to need the secondary colors. And like we said, we already know what those are. We have green, we have purple, and we have orange, okay? So you're going to need those. And so I'm going to show you a basic line drawing. And then it's up to you to kind of create the colors, okay? And you can use whatever means or whatever you have, okay? So I'm going to show you my example. Ta-da! What do you think those little guys are? Just some mice, right? Well, guess what? Our mice are arranged on our paper, simple line drawings, okay? And they're arranged in such a way that they create a bigger composition or a bigger piece, right? And it also is representing our color wheel. It just looks a little bit silly, right? So maybe in here you might want to put like a little piece of cheese or something, or something that they're all looking at and trying to think about that they might want to eat or something. You can draw them smaller if you want. You can draw them bigger. You can leave them just like this if you choose. But you'll see this is my blue. I skipped the coloring process. I went to the yellow. Then I skipped this guy. Then I colored the red. So I had the blue, the red, and the yellow. Those are our 3 primaries. And then in between those primaries, right, if you take these 2 and you blend them together, you get the purple. If you take these 2 and you blend them together, you get the green. And if you take these 2 together, you blend them together, you get orange, right? Perfect. So I say we get started. This is going to require your pencil, and I'm going to get a better pencil. A pencil with an eraser and a blank piece of paper. Okay. All right. So providing I can flip there. Now, this also goes in line with those teardrop shapes that we were making the other day with our rain, right? The raindrops were kind of like a teardrop shape. And to do these 6 mice, right, that we have on our paper, you may find it easier to turn your paper as you go. You might see me doing that too. I'm gonna kind of play that by ear. But I'm gonna kind of put maybe just a little imaginary circle in the middle. Okay. And I did that because you can then make 6 little dots, right? Across your paper. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see how I did that? You can space them out. So if this makes it easier for you, okay, this is just a means of breaking it down like we've done in the past, right? Not to get overwhelmed with the actual picture or image, but this is just a way to break that down for you. So I created, but I'm going to erase this later. So I'm not going to draw it really heavy, okay? So you can start with that. So you have your dot on the top. Remember how it kind of went across from each other, much like the umbrella, right? Up and down, and then you kind of crossed in the middle, right? And those are our 6 dots. That's a good way to kind of keep that in mind. So I'm just going to kind of take my pencil tip on each one of these points, and I'm going to do a teardrop shape. And again, don't be afraid, we might have to use our eraser. So I'm just going to kind of come up, go around like this, and come down. All right, that looks pretty good for the size, the shape. It's fine for now. I might come down here and do one directly below it. Okay, they don't have to be perfect ovals necessarily, right? So you might have something that looks like this. Now I'm going to maybe turn my paper just a little bit just to help me center it and to get it so it's not so awkward to draw, okay? So I'm going to take this point right here, and then we'll do this point. Okay, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to come up. See, again, not liking the shape, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to erase, and I'm going to just kind of bring him out a little bit further and make it more of like the oval shape like this. Okay, again, just practice. It's okay. And they don't have to be perfectly shaped. I don't want you to get hung up on that, right? All right, so I'm going to actually turn my paper this way. All right, you can turn it. It's whatever your comfort level is. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to make another one just like this. See, for me, that's a little bit easier. Okay, so I might have something that looks like this. Now I have this, and I might come up like this and come down. Okay, same over here. A little bit of space. My hand got away from me on that one. Gonna go erase it, come back around, bring it more of a shape like this. Okay, now can you see what it does? I didn't do it on this one, but you can imagine that there's like a little line or a little circle there. All right, let me find my paper again. All right. And honestly, the majority of this is going to be coloring, those colors that I had you get. So now I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to erase. I think another crayon or marker or pencil or something. You might need, if you erase it, let me just kind of clarify that. So like you can kind of just kind of go around here, and you might need a black. What I did with mine is I actually got a little Sharpie marker, or you can use a black crayon, you can use a black colored pencil. You just have to, like I just filled in some detail after I colored it. I think the coloring is kind of the most important part of this, okay? So I'm not going to really bore you to tears with this one, but I will show you the way in which you can set up your coloring so that it is in the color wheel configuration, or the way that it looks is kind of like a color wheel, okay? So I want you to grab first your yellow, okay? And you can pick whichever one you want. I'm going to try to focus on this one up here for right now. And all I'm going to do, and again, I'm not going to bother you with like sitting here watching me just color, okay? So I'm just going to do this like ever so quickly, all right? And so my coloring is not going to look spectacular, but that's okay, all right? Just for kind of demonstration purposes. Okay, so I have my yellow here. You see these two right here? You're going to actually hold off and not do anything in either of those. So I'm going to take my yellow, I'm going to skip, and I'm going to start here. And I'm going to get my red pencil, and I'm going to color this red, okay? And again, this is going to look really rushed and hurried, and that's okay. I just kind of wanted you to get the rough idea of where the placement should go, okay? All right, next you're going to find your blue. Blue, remember the primary. Yellow, red, and blue. All right, just like we did this, we have our color here. We're going to skip this one. Now we're going to color this one blue. So you really could start with any of the primary colors. Wherever you start though, right, you just have to kind of keep in mind of where you are and what colors you're using and how you're spacing them so that this can ultimately kind of come out the right way. Okay. All right. So I'm going to set my 3 primary color pencils aside. And now we're dealing just with the secondary colors, right? Who remembers what we would get if we have a yellow and a blue? What would we get? We would get, boom, this color, green. So again, we're going to color this whole guy in green. And I'm going to stop right there with that because of the time on this already. It's sneaking away from me. If you remember, we had the blue and we had the red, and together they make purple. So I'm going to color this one. And remember, I'm coloring them with the 2 primary colors that are the closest to them that can kind of guide you in what your secondary color will be, right? So here I know if I look, I have a red and I have a blue, then putting together makes purple. Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave it like that for time's sake. I'm going to set my green and purple aside. We have one more little mouse over here. And again, if we put these 2 colors together, these 2 primaries, we get the secondary color of orange. So I'm going to color this little guy orange. So all you have to do at this point, excuse me, is finish coloring them in. Then you can take your black crayon marker, colored pencil, whatever you want. And I simply just blackened the tip of each of these to make their noses, right? And I just gave them little whiskers. And these are just 2, their ears, right, are the upside down U, really, right, in each of them. Little dots for eyes, and then I kind of gave them a wavy line for a tail. And there you have it. So I didn't put them in a setting because I kind of wanted to focus on the colors, right? But next time we do a project, and I also kind of wanted to have it a little bit easier tonight because I know that the one that I did on Friday was pretty involved. And there were a lot of components to that, right? A lot of pieces to that. So I wanted to kind of give you a chance to look at that one, right? Maybe finish that. And then if you wanted to start on this one and kind of go off of number 1, this is our line drawings, right? Number 2, this is an example of a color wheel. You can put them in a setting if you want, but you don't have to. Okay, so this is just a project for now to kind of get a little bit more familiar with the color wheel. I do have one Friday that I'm looking at doing, and it has some color that's incorporated, and it's like in a setting. All right, so we'll get back to maybe drawing an animal or something. And so we'll leave that until Friday. But I hope that, see, I wanted this to be shorter and it isn't. Look at me just talking away here. All right, folks. So I think I'll wrap it up. I will let you go. Please, again, if you do something, keep them. I would love to see them when we're all back together, or take pictures and share them. I would love that too. Again, hope you are staying safe and healthy and making good choices. And I definitely miss you and cannot wait until we get to see you guys all together again. So until Friday, you guys take care and have a great week. Bye, guys.